Dear all audience around the world, parents, educators, and students. Welcome to the Real Talk with Experts, hosted by me, Professor Rania Lampu, and Coach Yama Marekar. I'm advisor at Elegant Empire Education. I'm a global educator also, STEM instructor, researcher, author, and international speaker at the Greek Ministry of Education and the Greek Astronomy and Space Company. Welcome again to our education and lifestyle journey towards 2030. This forum is powered by Elegant Empire Education Malaysia, a prestigious educational-based organization which focuses...
So sorry, you have to start it now. The live just went. Okay, can you please repeat? You can start now. Thank you. Sorry.
Dear all audience around the world, parents, educators, and students, welcome to the Real Talk with Experts hosted by me, Professor Rania Lampu, and Coach Yama Marekar. I'm advisor at Elegant Empire Education. I'm a global educator, STEM instructor, author, researcher, and the national keynote speaker at the Greek Ministry of Education and the Greek Astronomy Space Company. Welcome again to our education and lifestyle journey towards 2030. This forum is powered by Elegant Empire Education Malaysia, a prestigious educational-based organization which focuses on quality education for all, regardless race, country, and religion. Our idealistic and visionary founder, Ambassador Professor Nestor Mala, focuses on upholding a quality education that develops individuals from all walks of life to their potential, which ignites curiosity, enriches knowledge, and nurtures personal and professional growth. Her vision matches with the vision of Elegant Empire Education as it curates a diverse range of online summits, workshops, webinars, and training sessions led by experts and outstanding leaders from various fields. Elegant Empire Education creates an inclusive and supportive environment. And by harvesting the power of technology and innovation, and through this platform, we aim to collaboratively organize educational events that will enhance knowledge dissemination, skill development, and fostering a lifelong learning global community. Elegant Empire Education strictly follows the slogan, quality education for all. And our topic today will be the National Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. Now the floor is given to the Coach Yama Marekar in order for her to introduce the prominent panelist for today. The floor is yours, Coach Yama Marekar.
Coach Yama, I have to play the video first, actually.
Okay.
Can I play the video first? Yeah.
Yes, please. Permission granted.
Coach Shyama, you may start.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Very good evening and good morning, good afternoon, wherever the part of the world you are. A very warm welcome again to our educational forum, Real Talk with Expert Show, sponsored by Elegant Empire Education Malaysia. This is Coach Shyama Marika from Oman. I'm a teacher, trainer, and NLP master practitioner. I'm also an education officer at Elegant Empire Education Malaysia. So this it's my privilege and pleasure again welcoming you all, our prominent panelists to this forum. Today, we are going to talk about an important topic, and it's close to, as women and as human being, it's close to our heart, because to most of the women are very highly educated and have significant place in the society nowadays. But still, unfortunately, we have some people, some women, even though they are well educated and have a good place in the society, they are going through so many troubles like domestic violence, right? So let's talk about today. What's the problem? Why they face this? What are the solutions for that? So to discuss about this, to create awareness that you are not alone. Anyone who is going through this trauma, you're not suffering. So let's see what's the solution. What can we do? Let's discuss. And to discuss about these things, to bring some light to the people who are going through these challenges. Let me welcome our first panelist, prominent panelist. He's all the way from India, Mr. Mohammed Zubair. Sir, good afternoon, good evening. I think
Good
it's in
evening, ma'am.
India.
Good evening.
Right?
Good evening, all of
Yes.
you.
How
Good
are you
evening.
doing?
I'm doing great, fantastic. What about you?
Yeah, good. Thank you for joining with us. Before moving on to our question, let me introduce my first panelist. Mr. Mohammed Zubair is an assistant professor of special education, the Department of Teacher Training and Non-Formal Education, Faculty of Education, Jamia Millia Islamia, a central university in New Delhi. He is a global keynote speaker, educationist, motivational speaker, and above all, he's doing a great job dealing with disabled children or differently able children. So it's a great honor to have you here in our platform, sir. Shall I proceed with my question?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Okay. So on this International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, especially domestic violence. So to mark this day, we have prepared some questions. Your first question is, how can we prevent violence against women?
How can we, sorry?
Prevent violence
Okay.
against women.
Okay, sure. As we all know, women are, central to the entire development process in the society. And be it an individual family, village, province, or state, the whole nation, because women are, man and women are the complement of one another. But in the society, we have lots of, discrimination women are facing from the last century, from the last decade, or we can say violence against women has been the, concern of feminists worldwide. When we approach the subject in the sense the violence is a feminist issue, but as I observed that violence is the use of physical force to inflict injury to others is not only this kind of violence is there, that lots of violences are there in the society. Domestic violence is there against women. Country like India, honor killing, forms a part of family or community-based violence, which supports the idea of public, and marriage violence, dowry kind violence, or international legal framework is there, constitution is there, but it's still, in practical manner, we can see lots of women are facing, lots of problems around the world. So how we can, eliminate these kind of, discrimination against them. Raising awareness in the society is important, because we have to sensitize as educationists. It's our duty. We have to sensitize the society. Education and campaigns we can start, and the highlight the prevalence and the consequences of violence against women are crucial. And we can take lots of legal measures. Implementation and enforcement of laws must be there in the society by the stakeholders, by the government, by the agencies that protect women from violence, such as domestic or maybe sexual harassment, or the policy related issues, or the legal aspects. And we have to provide them accessibility and equity in the society. Still, the attitude of the society is not clear, specifically in our country, like in the subcontinent, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, lots of women still face lots of problems. In Africa, lots of problems our women are facing. So we have to empower them, because programs that empower women economically, socially, and we have to make them independent in the society. So curriculum will play a vital role. We have to add these things for awareness at the early stages of education, because when we add these things at the school curriculum or the college curriculum, definitely the awareness will increase. And challenging traditional gender roles, because in the society lots of traditions and traditions are there, and still women, so engage men and boys, encouraging men and boys to allies in ending violence against women through education, through a good conversation, and challenging harmful masculine norms. And lots of collaboration is required in the society. Collaboration between the governments, between the NGOs and the international organizations are there. So we have to collaborate one another, and it's a duty of all stakeholders. And support system must be there in the society. And as we all know, empowerment is important. As we all know, empowerment is a process which relates to the power of an individual to redefine her responsibility or options and have the ability to act upon. So in my opinion, women empowerment encompasses a complexity in comparison to other disadvantaged group in the society. And women make up half of the world's population and form a cross-cutting group that overlaps all other groups in society. So decision-making power in the household shows the amount to say the woman has in household decisions, and was estimated as an average of several sub-variables. So economic empowerment is also required for them, because enhancing the role of women as drivers of the poverty reduction, and promoting female investors and entrepreneurs, and recognizing the link between gender equality and safeguarding the environment, all promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and directly contribute SDG 9 on industry, innovation and infrastructure, and SDG 5 on gender equality. So so women's sense of targeting gender equality and women economic empowerment is not only important from the perspective of realizing right, but it is also smart economics. So women are the key agents of change, and when women and men are equal, economies grow faster, less people remain in poverty, and the overall well-being of the people increases. So harnessing women's potential as economic actors is also essential. And the major we can say in country like India, women perspective are included in designing and implementing macroeconomic and social policies by institutions, their participation in such processes by various campaigns. And women and women in industry is important aspect. Women in agriculture, women can take part in every area. Support services, the provision of support services for working women, like child care facilities, including creches at workplaces and educational institutions, homes for the aged and the disabled has been expanded and improved to create an enabling environment. So when we, you know, so like United Nations defines violence against women as any act of gender-based violence that result is or is likely to result in physical, sexual, or mental harm or suffering to women. So violence against women is a social, economic, and developmental, legal, educational, human right, and health and issue. So it is a preventable cause of morbidity and mortality in women. So violence against women occurs throughout the life cycle, from pre-birth, infancy, childhood, adolescence, adulthood. So as per WHO findings, worldwide have experiences either physical or sexual intimate partner violence or non-partner sexual violence in their lifetime. And violence against women, particularly intimate partner violence and sexual violence, is a major public health problem. So, violence can negatively affect women's physical, mental, and the emotional, health, and may increase the risk of, health issues. And, gender, disparity is one of the major, deep root cause of violence against women that put women at risk. So discriminatory gender norms and gender stereotypes results into structural inequality. So, family, lots of, traditional practices in the society, like female genital mutilation, acid attacks against women, killing in the name of family honoring, early marriages are there, dowry system is the problem. So judiciary and law enforcement must be there, and insensitive, inefficient, corrupt, and unaccountable, judicial system and law enforcement machinery fails to deter against various forms of crimes. So the primary roles for women have been marriage and motherhood. People think like that in the past, but women must marry because an unmarried, separated or divorced status is a stigma in the society. They can't marry again, and the custom of diaries is still prevalent, in the society. Lots of health issues with the women, violence in any form affects not only physical, mental, sexual health, but women also, adversely affects their self-esteem and, confidence and ability to work and make decisions. So economic issues with them, because we have to make them independent in the society. Developmental issues with them. Violence, obstructs participation of women in development and planning. So violence prevent women from experiencing, accessing the benefits of development by restricting their ability to act more freely in the society, because they are the equal member of the society and they have all potential and guts, and they can take part, in all activities in the society. So, way forward, gender bias, financial independence must be provided to them, and school education and college education, we have to aware them at the early stages. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mohammed Zubair. That's very deep, and you covered all the points that what we can do to stop this violence, or just to protect this right. Violence against women. Yes, we can empower. We have to educate, empower women. That is the main thing that you said. And we can bring like government and everyone to like legal measures also should be practiced, and it should be emphasized, right? So that we can prevent this type of violence against women. Very beautiful points. Thank you very much for that, sir.
Welcome.
With this, let me move on to our second panelist, Mr. Alok Kumar, right? Mr. Alok Kumar, how are you doing? Very warm welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm doing very well.
Okay, so before I move on to our next question, the next panel, let me share some information about him first. Introduce him. Yes, Mr. Alok Kumar is a speaker, trainer, seminar leader, NLP practitioner, English language, and IAS coach. He has vast experience in training, sales skills, and English. It's our privilege having you here, sir. Thank you very much for joining with us today. Let me proceed with the question. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay, so now Mr. Mohammed Zubair very beautifully mentioned how we can prevent this, what actions can we take. We can empower women and many things he mentioned. Now, according to you, what is domestic violence?
Okay.
Can you please explain us this thing?
All right, good. So, I will start with a small story. There is a neighbor of mine, and I always hear unpleasant noise coming from there. So one day I asked him, why do you keep on fighting? Why can't you live peacefully? And he replied, that is how women are controlled. Okay. So the issue is, it's a pattern. Where does this, how does this happen? When there is a pattern of abusive behavior where men normally learn it. But let me tell you, domestic violence is not only where the men are exploiting women. There is a case recently where a woman has killed a man because she wanted to take to her husband to take her to Dubai and give her expensive gift and then come back to India, So that she got so much aggressive that she cut. But then largely it is between, a man exploiting women instead of. But we should not be oblivious to the fact that's happening the other way around also. Okay. Now, you asked that how can we control it, right? Okay. There are many governmental measures to do it. That doesn't work. Let's understand. In most of the families, especially in the Indian subcontinent, they don't acknowledge that there is a domestic violence. They accept it calmly. It is as if it's a way of life. And even when the girl raises her voice, her parents tell, keep patience. It will be all right over a period of time. Now, the point here is something very, very important and which I feel very strongly about it, that the very first time when a domestic violence occurs, the woman should protest and make sure that's not repeated. Don't give benefit of doubt. We become sometimes optimist that, okay, today he has done that, but the next he will improve over a period of time. My experience tells me it doesn't happen. So if you allow this to happen, it will persist. Also, it's very important point here. There is something called a learned helplessness. When a baby elephant is tied with a rope and he is not able to break that rope. So even when the elephant grows, what happens? It feels that it cannot break that rope. So even educated women, they don't stand for themselves. They are conditioned by the society to accept helplessness. And this is a very important point. The day women learn how to take a stand, things will change. Of course, parents also have to play a role because from the childhood, they are trained that learn to adjust. And this word adjust is misused. Okay, it gives us scope for exploitation. So there is no need to adjust, first point. Second point is that don't allow the behavior to get repeated, abusive behavior. The very first time, stop it. Third point is, and which is not in the hand of women completely, but parents must stand as a solid support. Most of the families and most of the girls feel helpless when parents say that now you are married, learn to live with your husband. But where a father or mother takes a strong stand, okay, you are facing a problem, we are there for you. And then things will change. No amount of governmental, I can list you the governmental support. That if you do this, there are various forums you can go. There is a National Commission for Women and all that stuff is there. But the point is, how many women are going there? They are not going there because they are not trained, number one, to take a stand for themselves. I will also tell you something, courage is important in life. You cannot be the wisest person in the world, but you can be the most courageous person. Muster your courage. And only then all the governmental machinery and the help group support will all work. Otherwise, it will not work. Right? Now,
Exactly.
going ahead, I hope I have 1 or 2 minutes. You need to understand that this exploitation, it comes in various forms. Like, for instance, a man may be, laughing at his wife openly in front of family members. And the family members also enjoy. But that is also a kind of exploitation. Telling women, I know a family where a husband tells his wife that, you don't have common sense and you are slightly mentally deranged. So I will take decision. You sit quietly. We need to take a call there. So it comes in a various forms. It's not only physical. It's not only sexual. It's not only financial. In a general conversation, you can run down a person. And as I told you, we have already learned helplessness. When I say we, means all the women, sometimes men also, we have learned. And that is what makes it very different. Now, so another important point is that women must be financially independent. It's important to work. Don't think that you are married to a person who is already earning livelihood and your task is to take care of home. It doesn't work. And there is also one point that if you, if a man is working outside, he's going every day office, he's growing there. And if a woman stays within the home, so maybe her mental horizon doesn't widen the way the man's mental horizon went. And so there is a communication gap. And that gives a rise to several problems. So it's important that both men and women work together. That's very, very important. All right.
Amazing points. Amazing points.
Just one more point.
Yes, please.
Okay. It's extremely important for the girl as well as the family to acknowledge that there is a problem. We try to push it under the carpet. Okay? We try to not address the issue. But that is where I told you that courage is required. So acknowledgement is extremely, extremely important. Courage is important. And that conditioning must get away. So this is, I feel, has to do more at the society and the family level too. And then the governmental measures will really work. All right. I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, thank you very much. Those powerful questions, answers actually. But the thing is, yes, stand for yourself. Not only education, not only governmental measures. That's confidence and the courage also should be
right.
Nowadays. Girls and parents and guardians, please take these points into account. Just feed your girls not only food, some courage also, and be supportive to them when they fall into a trap or just when they face a challenge. Please be with them, right? Stand for them and make them also strong, bold to make movements, right? Then only these measures. Thank you very much for so powerful points. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank
With
you.
this, I would like to remind our audience, if you have any on today's topic for our panelists, please type in the comment box, and people who are present here as panelists, please type in the chat box. And without further ado, let me move on to our third panelist. We have here our ma'am Maricel Tiaga. She's from Philippines. Right, ma'am? Am I right? Did
Yes,
I say your name correctly?
Maricel.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a good friend also. Her name is Maricel. She's also from Philippines. She is the technology cluster head and the dean of the College of Engineering at the University of Virtual Health System Delta, Molino campus in Cavite. Currently, she is completing Doctor Philosophy in Electronics and Communication Engineering at Mapua University. She also a very educated person, Vice Governor of Internal Affairs of IECEP Cavite and Chairman of Mechatronics and Robotics Society of Philippines, Board of Director Global Cluster. There are so many things list it's going on. So let me stop there. Very warm welcome. How are you doing, ma'am, this evening?
Yes, I'm great.
Okay, thank you
Happy
very much
to be
for
here.
joining. Okay, it's a great honor and pleasure to have you here as our panelist. And ma'am, now both gentlemen, they shared their points, powerful points, and their point of views on how we can act on this violence, right? This is not only the societal problem, take it as home. From the home, we have to start the steps now. Now, I would like to ask you questions. Once like abusive things happens, what can we do? Like, for example, if I be more specific about the thing that the question, do abusers show any potential warning signs? So is there any warning signs that they show that so that we can be careful or precautious?
So, if I understand the question right, what are the signs of an abuser, right?
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, so I believe that no abuser will show his or her abusive behavior during the first meeting or during the first interaction. There is always an incident or something that will trigger that behavior for that person to reflect and act as an abusive action. So we could already see the difference of a normal person that will just react on some things. So obviously that there will be some extreme behavior that you could that the abuser will basically there are abuser that can have a bad temper that could lead to physical action, physical abuse. And sometimes bad temper also can give you some verbal abuse. So you can also hear things that are not proper when these incidents or this something that will trigger this abuser. So most of the abuser also have extreme jealousy. They can become possessive at times. And you can also see some behavior that they are impulsive in making some decisions. So all of this extreme behavior are not being showed at first. So there are always some experiences that will trigger this kind of behavior for those abusers. And some research also see that the abuser you can see also cruelty to animals. So even though they are not showing it to a person, but you can see how they react to animals. They show that they are not they are hurting some animals, they are doing some bad things to animals. So those are signs of a person that has a tendency of being an abuser. And they have also some extreme uncontrollable behavior. They might have also some unreasonable beliefs of something that a role of a woman and a man in a relationship. So there are some unreasonable belief that an abuser would just accept that this is what it is. So those are the different signs that be a warning to us and to a person if those signs are reflected to a person. So there's a tendency that this person could also abuse you in case that this incident happening. So again, we could already get the hunch that there are some behavior in a person if he is an abuser. Again, a bad temper, an extreme jealousy, can be possessive at times. You can also hear verbal abuse or bad words, cruelty to animals, and some extreme uncontrollable behavior. And also lastly is the unreasonable belief of the role of a woman and a man in a certain relationship. So I think that would help us of course, there will be no person to be abused if you will not let them. So you should stand up for yourself and you should not let that person abuse you. So you have to defend yourself. So that's the lesson of if you know that person has this kind of signs, you have to be stronger than that person so that you will not be abused. So I think that is the lesson that we could learn from this. Since we already know the signs, we can already have ourselves be safe for that person.
Exactly. Thank you very much, ma'am.
I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, yes, thank you. Very important points. Please note these things. They note this behavior of right strange people, maybe your familiar people. Their impulsive behavior could be a sign that they are abusers, and be careful, right? And so this is very helpful. Thank you very much, ma'am. With this, let me hand over the podium to Professor Dr. Rania Lampu to talk about these things and ask some questions. Yes, ma'am. Floor is yours.
First, I would like to congratulate our eminent panel today. All our panelists shared thoughtful replies and shared their their own point of view, their own perspective. So I would like now to ask Dr. Marischel Theogango. I will share to you my personal experience. And based on this experience, I will ask you. I was connected many years with a volunteering group in Nigeria. Was collaborated with them. And I have two friends, close friends, who died because of the violence of their partners. So I experienced this. I had the first-hand experience. So I was shocked. And I did a thorough research about this. I learned that Nigeria has extremely high rates of gender-based violence. And this incident inspired me to write an educational program, which was implemented in public schools there. It was actually, I knew that this project could not be addressed, of course, to high school students, but only to ages of 11 to 13 years old, because at the age of 14, 16, teenagers have already formed a violent behavior. So this project would not have any meaning. So I designed a program for children of 11 to 13 years old. I integrate some activities of with shocking facts, statistical facts in their countries about gender-based violence, about neurobiology of fear, what are the reactions of our body, what happens to our body when we receive violence, some techniques and strategies how to deal with it. We're talking about relationship between students now. So I want to ask you what strategies, what we can do in order to help students in these countries, in these areas, in developing countries, where high rates of gender-based violence prevail.
Okay, so I could see that we could educate our teenager students of the different types of violence, and we can also educate them on how to manage having this kind of certain people that can be surrounded just in our environment. So through education, they would learn how to handle this type of people, and they could also learn how to be safe and get away with this kind of people. So proper education, and also with the support of their parents, they could have the moral support from them. And I think the education is very important in equipping our youth of how to manage themselves, not only when they are alone, but also with lots of friends. And their friends is also one of the supporters for them in order to be strong, and also their family. So it's very important that they are surrounded with good people as well, and they should be not joining some of the people that could possibly hurt them. So that's my take on that question.
Thank you very much. The role of parents, of course, and friends, but also the role of teachers, educators is important in this. So dedicate some
Yes,
time in order to present the shocking facts and
you're right.
suggest them some solutions. So in order somehow to integrate peace education, because gender-based violence is a part of peace education. Thank you very much for your reply. Yes, Dr. Estera.
Okay, now after all the serious questions, let's have a chat. Okay, light moments. Okay, just share whatever you know. That's all. Don't worry. Okay, now I have to direct this to these two gentlemen, because this is very close to home for them. Let's hear from them. Okay, like first about dowry. Okay, dowry. In India, of course, dowry is also practiced in other countries in a different form, with more mild, not as serious as in India. Yeah. So in Malaysia, we have Indians, but we don't practice all this dowry, because here multiracial, and we are more diluted Indians, so we don't stick to that. Yeah, because everybody is working. Like in India, I think it's still practiced by many, especially the middle class and those who are very rich. Am I right? Mr. Alok and Mr. Zubair? What-
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
You see, it is decreasing now.
Yeah, you are right.
It is in the
Decreasing, but
rural
it's-
country. Yes.
Yeah,
What
It
to
is
say?
decreasing. It is decreasing, but when we talk about the remote areas or the villages, or India is a big country, so huge population still is there, existence is there. Even I observe that even those families who have education is still they are dealing with dowry. So it is still is there.
it's individual, right? Let's hear from Mr. Alok what he says. Yeah, I do agree with
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it-
you. Okay, both talking now. One talk.
no, let Muhammad Zubair say he has something to say. I will tell.
yeah. Actually, because as we all know, dowry is in India, dowry is very big problem. Not from it's not a current problem. It's a we can say it's a old problem we are facing, and in Indian system, the country is very big. The diversity is there, and the legal aspects are there. But dowry has been a long-standing tradition in many cultures in India in the past, often associated with bride's family providing gift and wealth to the groom's family as a gift or goodwill to assist the newly married couples is what is started. But in the families, when you don't have lots of resources or other things, it's a huge problem for the parents to marry their girls. In some societies, the exchange of dowry is seen as a way to display social status and maintain family honor, and they compare one another how much money I will spend in the marriages. The size of value of the dowry might be linked to the perceived prestige of the bride's family, and lots of economic factors, because dowry might be linked to economic factors where the groom's family seeks financial advantages by demanding dowry as a condition for marriage. If a person have boy kid, so they are demanding from the girl's family. This could lead to exploitation and financial burdens on the bride's family. So dowry is often rooted in gender inequality, where women may be seen as financial burdens on their families, and the exchange of dowry can be viewed as a way to offset the perceived economic responsibility of the brides. And lots of traditions, culture and tradition beliefs can perpetuate the dowry system, making it deeply ingrained in societal norms and expectations. And lots of pressure and social pressure, you can say, or societal expectations can compel families to participate in the dowry system. What other people will feel, what they feel, how we will manage our daughter's marriage. So lots of comparison in the society. But legal, but Mr. Lok said that yeah, it's true, it is decreasing. Those people who are aware about these things, this is not good. So it is decreasing day by day, because education is increasing in India as well. India is a country where the good potential, and the young generation is definitely
Yes.
following these things, and they are taking all the legal reforms and enforce.
Yes, Mr. Uday. Yeah,
And because
that-
government has
yeah. But although the government, Indian government implemented the law saying that
yeah,
dowry
and
is
the
banned,
other thing, the one more thing I would like to add, one more thing I would like to add, like previous question was related to that. Education and awareness are interrelated to each other. So conduct extensive awareness campaigns in schools and communities. And the role of media and social media is good. We can use the media and social media, and we can conduct extensively awareness campaign in school communities curriculum, and integrate discussions on gender equality, women rights, and the harms of dowry in the educational curricula. And we can promote women's empowerment through education, vocational training, and economic opportunities to them. So empowered women are more likely to resist dowry demands and make
thank you.
informed choices.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Zubair. Well detailed. Now, Mr. Alok, one more thing. What I would like to share here is now I used to watch, recently I watched a reality show where they asked the young girls, most of the young generations, this is an India reality show. And most of the young girls now, they are highly educated. They want to pursue higher education. They are not, they don't give priority to getting married. Okay, their priority is education and career. Okay, this is what they are focusing. And I believe women all around the world, they are also there. I mean, in the same boat. They feel that career and career is more important, education and career. Yeah. So in this situation, but I think the guys, the men, okay, the future mother-in-laws, okay, have to educate the way they bring up the son should change, because they feel they invest a lot of money in their son's education, and now he's a professional or is doing some good job, so they deserve a highly educated girl who's earning a lot, and of course bring dowry, although it's banned. So how do you think the girl's family can cope with this, Mr. Alok? How do you think the girl's family can cope with it, and what
Yes.
the mothers of the men, okay, the groom to be?
All right.
Help-
You
help-
asked a very good question, highly relevant today. Men and the future mother-in-law have to change. They have to understand, it cannot happen that a woman works in the office, comes back home and cooks food also and takes care. So, a contribution from men also have to come the way it happens in Europe and USA. And they have to understand, they have to acknowledge that women will go out, they will work, and they cannot, completely control the household thing. So men also have to contribute. That's very extremely important point. And women and the mother-in-law, future mother-in-law, have to also appreciate this point, have to become less possessive, about their own sons. And it primarily requires the change in mindset.
Yeah, sorry.
And I hope,
yeah, Mr. Alok.
but it is happening very gradually, very slowly. This aspect is, taking time.
Yeah, Mr. Alok, sorry to interrupt, but the problem is, the young girls nowadays, they want to live, right after getting married, they want to live away from their in-laws. Yeah.
Yes.
I think they should, because unless the in-laws are too old and there's nobody to look after them, yes, but this kind of tradition, living together, in a big family, I think it's not suitable nowadays. Do you agree with that? Because this
Absolutely.
creates a lot of problem, and the closeness between the man and the wife is not there. Yeah. And the woman being continuously abused with housework. Okay. If they're working financially also. Okay. And so many things. So what do you think? Is it good for the couples to stay away? And again, this is not too much away from the domestic violence, because this is to avoid, because this is one of the causes of domestic violence. Because when the girl doesn't treat the mother-in-law or father-in-law well, she's being bashed up. Okay, there's quarreling. So to reduce this kind of problem, to eliminate this kind of problem, I think after getting married, they should go on their own and settle their own problem. And I think then they will have more understanding.
Yeah, they can settle on, they can certainly move out, because nuclear family is something which is not to be accepted. But this does not mean that you will not take the responsibility for your aging parents. It has on the flip side, what happens, many times the aging parents are ignored, they are not being taken care of. So, and in fact, the smart parents make sure that even if they stay in the same house, the kitchen and the rooms are different,
Yeah.
so that there is a minimum interference. So that change we can already see in the cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai. Of course, in a B and C grade city, it is still to come. But I think the progress is in the right direction.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot more hard work need to be done in this area.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but still, because high population, okay, big population,
Hmm.
high rate of domestic violence in many ways, mental abuse,
Hmm.
physical abuse, everything. They are abused in every way. And I will not say that men are not being abused. Nowadays, men also suffer domestic violence. There's some women beating up the husband also, denial. But of course, the number, if you compare to the number of men being abused and women to be women abused are far lesser, right? So that's why we are all focusing on women, because women deliver babies, right? They go out to work, they work at home, yeah. So many things, so many things, yeah.
Yeah.
And to add to this, I'm sorry, the equation between daughter and mother-in-law,
Yeah.
the wife and the mother-in-law has to also, get better.
Yeah, the
Because
men
this is a
work
story
hard.
of
Yes, the man must know how to balance between, how to treat the mother and the wife.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah,
time.
balance.
Yeah, a lot of families, I know Indian families, as I see, especially if they live with their mother, they will always pro-mother. They expect the wife to understand everything. You see, so the sacrifice must come from the wife. My mother first.
Yeah.
I think should be equal. What do you think?
Actually, there is imbalance. Either it is mother first or wife first. So on the other extreme.
There is
So
an
the
imbalance,
balance has to be restored. Equilibrium is missing right now.
Yes. When it's missing, that's the problem. Because the moment the man doesn't know how to balance between mother and the wife, then that's where the
Actually,
problem comes. Not
Yeah.
easy, not easy. That's why I say when you go away and stay on your own, unless your parents are very old and nobody to look after, then it's fine. Other than that, you're going to be having a lot of problems, family rift and all that, right? So
Right.
I think we all have to focus on that a lot. Even in my country, in Malaysia, we have it's a multi-racial country. We have Malays. Their tradition is similar to Indian, very much similar. Mother-in-law controls a lot of things. So there's a lot of domestic violence. Sometimes, no matter how good the wife is, the husband not happy because the mother is not happy. Mother is not happy with his wife, so he become most of, if it's a mother's boy, very sad. So because you both are Indian, so it's easy for me to chat with you on
yeah, actually, you sir said right, Alok sir said right, because we have to encouraging an environment of mutual respect.
Yes.
And equality between spouses is crucial, and promote the idea that both partners, whether as a wife or a mother, have equal rights, responsibilities, and value within the household. And open and respectful communication is essential. Encourage dialogue between spouses to understand each other's roles, expectation, and challenges, and emotional support, and all kind of support, and shared responsibilities, like Alok sir said. Promote the sharing of household, like you said, household chores or child care duties or decision making. Encourage husbands to actively participate in parenting and household tasks as well, to ease the burden of wives. Establish support system for mothers and providing them with resource assistance, emotional support. And address, sometimes lots of customs are there. So after getting education, and we are living in this scientific era. So we have to equal and encourage the good environment in the families.
Yeah. You see, another thing is that the problem is the mother-in-laws, they know how to make the sun set, right?
Yes.
So Emotional blackmail. That is another thing. That is also included in the domestic violence because
yeah.
it is the emotional attack. It's also
Yes.
violent, right?
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
mothers, you know, they always have this. That's why you see from the the debate.
Actually, it's a hierarchy. It's a hierarchy. They all experienced in the past because they were the wives, and what they experience, they are following the same thing. But we have to make such environment, positive environment, where we can share the responsibility and make a good open connection and open communication among them. It's a duty of a man as well, because sometimes we have to take our own decisions. If I am saying that I am adult, I have my own thinking process, so I have to take my own decisions every time. I don't there is no need to take the all the decisions come from my mother or my wife. So balance is required in the environment. Equilibrium is missing. That is important.
I think it's time for all the sons to, inverted commas, educate the mother. Time has changed.
Yeah.
You
Right.
love your son. You love your
Yes.
son. Your
Yes.
daughter-in-law's parents also love their daughter. So
Yes.
we have to treat everybody equal. Let
Equal.
us go. Let us
Right.
go. Okay.
Yes. Right.
Interfere. The third party should not interfere.
Yes. You're right.
Mr. Alok, what do you say? Unless
Absolutely, I am absolutely in sync with you.
because
It is
a lot of
it's
marriages, even in my
Hmm.
country, there's census saying that high divorce because of the third party's interference. And
Interference.
at the time, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law's no problem. Even father-in-law's not much, but mother-in-law and the sister-in-law, the women are the problem. So it's time for all the sons to educate the mother, tell them, look, don't bring your story. Okay, how your mother-in-law, I know everything, but certain things we still have to keep up with the tradition where we respect the older people. Yeah, when they come, you serve them well. See, and the girls now also, I'm not telling they're fantastic. They just want to be independent. No, I have my right. I have high education. I want to do whatever I like. That is also a wrong attitude. So I think to avoid all these problems, when you marry, see the family, not only the girl or the man. See the man's family. See
Yeah.
the women's family. Yeah, these all are small things which can help to reduce domestic violence. If the father is the type like to hit the mother too much, then you make sure that you are careful with the son. The son will
Yes.
have, because it's a psychological effect. You see, it's all in the subconscious mind. It will trigger when the time comes, right?
Yeah.
So this all parents, we have to take note. Otherwise, our children's life will be affected. So that's why they said when you
Yeah.
misunderstanding, not before your children.
Yeah, you are right. You are right. Actually, interference from a mother-in-law in her son's marriage can create tensions and challenges in the family for a new couple.
Yeah.
And a mother-in-law, might assert her opinions and preferences by emotionally, blackmailing his kids
Son,
or the
yeah,
son.
cry. The first
Yeah,
thing others will do.
yeah. And the problem is that in the society is that criticism and comparison, continuous criticism or comparison of daughter-in-law to other family members, including past or idolized daughter-in-law, which kind of daughter-in-law you are. So can create a sense of inadequacy and strain in the relationship. And undermining the spouse authority. A mother-in-law may undermine her daughter-in-law's authority by favoring son's decision over his spouse's, creating a power imbalance within the
Marisol?
marriage system.
Yeah.
Yes.
Miss Marisol, you want to ask anything? Is this very interesting chat? I think you don't know much about the Indian tradition there. Okay. Because
Yes, but we have also those kind of experience here in the Philippines.
let us hear. Let us hear.
Yes.
So what?
Because we have a very close family ties.
Yeah.
When a man married, they still live with their parents, so together with the wives.
Issue.
But I think it is also, it happened here in the Philippines that the mother-in-law are more like the queen of the house. So you
So
cannot,
universal truth, universal problem, Professor.
yeah, you
Yeah.
cannot,
Universal-
you cannot move any furniture or anything in the
Oh.
house without the approval of the queen. So you cannot really get move much inside of the house. So it's really better if you're going to marry and have your own family, you have to have your own house
Yeah.
and be separated with your parents, because being married is already a form of having your own family.
Yes.
And it doesn't mean that you don't love your parents anymore, but they have to respect that you are now an adult and you are going to form your own family.
Yes.
Just like what your parents have done during the time that they got married, they have their own family. So they have to respect that. So it's a proper communication with the parents.
Yeah.
But also seeking their guidance whenever they have a marriage problem. But it doesn't have to be that they have to meddle in every. They have to be there in the new family of their sons. So,
I think
yeah.
if you want a rapid reduction in the number of domestic violence in especially the young married couple, stay on your own, separate house.
Yeah,
That is the best solution, a first step a person can take. The man will have more peace, the woman will have more responsibility, because with this together, two women in one house, it will be a battlefield. We can't agree. Yeah. It will be a battlefield and the man will be so oppressed. He stands at work.
Independence.
The moment he come back home, another battle, it's like
Yeah.
all life problems. So the man must be smart, right or not?
Yeah. Yes.
Women,
Right.
women here, do you agree? The man got to be very smart. He must know how to balance, must know what is priority. No? Mother, father is important. So you must, so son and the father must educate the mother. The son is married now. They have to go on their own. We can visit and they can visit. So this is one way we can reduce it faster. I mean, reduce the number faster besides that, because there's so many other factors, reasons, but this could be one of the first step any young couple can take. Right? Otherwise, more stress, more problem, and divorce rate also will be very high. Abuse rate also will be very high. But now so many factors. Okay, wonderful. So I'm back to you, Coach Yama. I think we are going to close. You can pass it to.
Yes, yes. I think we had a very informative and insightful discussion today, and very interesting also. And well, thank you very much, all the panelists. And I would like to ask finally from two gentlemen panelists here, what advice you would like to give for the other men there out in the world?
Yes,
to
yes, wonderful. I like
men's
it.
rights and
I like it.
against this violence.
All
A
men.
piece of advice from you.
Each one of you.
Let's start with Mr. Alok.
Okay.
Then for the
So,
woman.
Yeah, first of all, I will say that all the men should be taught to respect women, because domestic violence does not happen only because of mother-in-law. There are other factors. Point number 2, yes, mother-in-law needs to be educated. So family has to evolve and they have to change the mindset. So these two advice I'll give them. But the most important thing is learn to respect women. They are not inferior, they're equal to you.
Exactly. Very well said. Thank you very much, sir, for that. And Mr. Mohammed Zubair, what would you like to say to all the men around the world now? It's a very, very good point.
in my opinion, as balancing the relationship between mother and a wife can be challenging sometimes. Yeah, it's true. But I will, tell that open communication with parents and wife, and clearly convey your expectations and encourage them, and set clear boundaries and take your own decisions. Establish clear boundaries with both your mother and wife, because make it clear that while you love and respect your mother as well, and your wife is your priority in your marital life in future and in the current life, so support your wife, stand by your wife in situations where she feels uncomfortable or faces interferences from your mother, or make her feel supported and valued in your life decisions. So allocate quality time exclusively for your wife to strengthen your bond and reassure her of your commitment to your marital relationship, and empathy and understanding. Try to understand both your mother's and wife's perspectives. Empathy can help you navigate different situations where their opinions might conflict, and avoid comparisons with others, because avoid comparing your wife to other women in the society. So try to make a good healthy relationship among in the family. So
Maintain
sometimes,
good relationship, healthy bond, right? That is most important.
yeah.
And
And
sometimes
sometimes,
so into their work, and they don't care about family and women. So it should be taken into account, right? They have to spend quality time.
yeah, right. And boundaries and respect is important. Clear physical boundaries can help in establishing and maintaining emotional and personal boundaries, promoting respect for each other's space, decisions. And sometimes
If your wife likes to work, let her work. Some men they don't like. Just be supportive, isn't it? That is also a part of this, isn't it?
yeah.
Okay, Coach
Yes,
Yama,
thank you
maybe
very much.
you can ask our Miss Maricel what
Yeah, Miss
her
Marcel,
advice
what you would like to say
say
to the men and women?
woman. You
Yes.
can finish.
uh, for the girls
Yes.
who's going to
Exactly.
marry, I think they have to be very selective. If their future husband is not ready to separate with their mothers, better think twice.
Yeah, exactly.
Better think twice.
Yeah.
A girl should be, or a lady should be, not only independent but also smart, and and be selective in because they should not enter to a relationship that they could not handle uh together with having argue with their future husband and their future mother-in-law. And for the men, I guess they have to be ready to be separated with their mothers, and have a decision that they should be forming a new family, but of course have an open communication with his mother and uh, his parents, so that there will be no conflict whenever that they will get married. So I think that is the advice that I'll be giving to the male and female.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Madam Marcel, for that. With our wonderful, fruitful session today, I would like to hand over the podium to our dear, beautiful professor, Dr. Rani Lam. Floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Coach Yama. First, I would like to say about dowry. Here in Greece, about dowry.
Yeah.
Because here in Greece it existed at the decade of 70s, 80s, but now not only does it exist, but it's considered as ridiculous, and in Europe in general.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a great step for society. Greek society is very traditional society. That's why I'm telling this. Because there's still the paradox that the women here in Greece, the majority are working, are financially dependent, but still the mindset and the mentality of inferiority of women still remains the same. And I fully agree with Dr. Alok Kumar, who said that change is not going to happen without engaging men to challenge gender inequality that is deeply seated in societal attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors. And this, of course, includes the stigma towards the survivors and victims of gender-based violence. By engaging men in considering all the destructive notions of masculinity, gender-empowered behavior can change. And if we suggest some preventive measures, we could say that we didn't talk about funding, that less than 100% of humanitarian funding worldwide goes towards programs to prevent and respond to gender-based violence. This is important. Keep girls in schools. When girls in crisis countries enter school, many do not finish due to early marriage or teenage pregnancy or the obligation to take on household chores. This is a preventive measure. And also include the women and girls in decision making, because women are, we know, often underrepresented in leadership and planning around humanitarian crises. Women's economic empowerment, of course, it's important. And now I'm going to close the session. Thank you very much, Coach Syama Marikar. All our eminent panelists and participants, it's my honor to give the closing remarks to the Forum Real Talk with Experts. What a joy to organize this forum online and to be able to welcome experts and dignitaries in the field of education, which is a good sign to collaborate together to enhance the education system globally. I would strongly emphasize that the slogan, quality education for all, accomplished the mission and vision of Elegant Empire Education. Thank you, Dr. Mohammad Jubeir, for highlighting many challenges that women are facing nowadays. You suggested the collaboration of all key stakeholders, activities of how we can actually promote empowerment, especially economic empowerment of women, in order to harness, in order for women to harness their potential, because women are key agents of the society, and violence prevents women from fulfilling their potential and thrive in all aspects of their development. Thank you, Dr. Alok Kumar, for giving us several concrete examples of domestic violence in certain contexts where violence is considered as a normal behavior and not acknowledged by local communities. Women must deal with their helplessness, should be financially independent, collaborate peacefully with men, and parents have to play a key role in helping them. Thank you, Dr. El Mariscal Teogango, for portraying the profile of abusers who usually don't show immediately their first reaction. Sometimes their bad temper can be accompanied by verbal abuse. Sometimes they can be extremely jealous and possessive, as well as out of control. And you also underscored very unreasonable beliefs about the women's position. Before putting this forum into a close, let us give a big applause to Coach Syama Marikar for hosting and moderating this forum, Real Talk with Experts. Thank you, dear panelists, Dr. Mohammad Jubeir, Dr. Alok Kumar, and Dr. El Mariscal Teogango, for your informative talks and for detailed insights you offer to every one of us. We are discussing issues on the elimination of violence against women. Heartfelt gratitude I would address to the brilliant audience, to the teachers, to the parents, and to the students who made it here with us today out of their busy schedules. We will meet again next week and we will talk about another popular and inspiring topic. But before I let you go, let us give a big thank you to Ambassador Professor Estemala, the visionary founder, the brain and the heart of Elegant Empire Education as the project director. See you soon. Thank you all very much.